folks. John Adamson with Seeking Light. Hopefully, this will work. I am at the best spot I can find right now for cell reception. We live near this major exit with like 9 or 10 gas stations. Huge traffic here, and yet the cell reception is just abysmal. I have no idea why. I think you can see a tower or two. But anyway, I'll try to speak sufficiently loud to go over the Mustang GTs that drive by and the truckers. So to start off, we had tragic news this morning. A facilitator in Ukraine, a facilitator of adoptions in Ukraine, has died in fighting. So a facilitator is the person that does all the grunt work for adopting families. They grease the palms of the right people. They know the legalities of the adoption. They sometimes do double duty as a translator. Our last facilitator was also our translator, probably so he didn't have to pay one. But friends of ours who have a huge heart for adopting and have adopted several special needs children like we have, their facilitator died while battling the Russians the other day. So, and he was an American citizen too. So he was an American citizen, bilingual, working in Ukraine as a facilitator, fought alongside the Ukrainians, and paid with his life yesterday. So that's one story. There's a YouTuber I follow, started following just a couple of days ago, an American, clearly of Oriental descent, who loves Ukraine. And he's in Kiev, he lives there, and so he's showing you like what's going on in the city. And in fact, he's in areas we recognize, which is kind of neat, kind of interesting. But what's really fascinating about the Ukrainian people is you don't see Ukrainians. I mean, people that actually have lived there panicking. They're just trying to live. They're just going about their day. You see them shopping. They're not like American shoppers who panic and buy all the waters, all the milks, all the bread, all the toilet paper. No, they're buying what they need. They're going back home. They're realistic, and you can see it in their faces. They're not running around. People are still checking their phone. They're talking, but there is a mass exodus going on. In fact, there's some sections getting out of Kiev, like the large cities. You see people walking out of the city faster than the cars are moving. There's another blogger that was chronicling his walk out of Kiev, and they're passing cars. And, you're going to have massive amounts of cars running out of gas while on, the highways to get out. And, we think our gas prices are high. Theirs are insanely high. And in fact, when we were there, this is going back to when gas prices were probably in the $2-ish to $3-ish range. Theirs was running $7-8 a gallon. And of course they do it by liters. I can only imagine what it's costing right now. And also, sorry, getting notifications, I keep flipping them. Also, another thing about, I was going to say something about the cars. Sorry, I allowed myself to get distracted, and there it just goes, right? So what else do I know about going on in Ukraine? We know there is a group of orphans that have been rescued. I don't know how much imminent danger they were in, but they're being taken out of Ukraine by a friend of ours who is also got a mother with him, and he's trying to get to his wife and 2 children who he's sent ahead. We've heard on the ground that it's about a 30-hour wait to get out of Ukraine into Poland. That's the delay. Of course, I'm sure the border people are working as fast as they can to process these people moving into Poland. Of course, there's other countries they could go to, but not all of them are friendly to Ukrainians. I've seen news reports about people heading down to Egypt, Turkey, I don't know. I haven't seen anything about Moldova. Moldova, when we were there at least, was pro-Russian, uh, more militarized feeling because we had to travel briefly through it than I felt in Ukraine. Um, ooh, that's what I get for getting a non-Dunkin' coffee. I'm going to drink it. I just have to adjust. um, so what else do we know? We know the family that I mentioned to you, that husband and wife, she's American, he's Ukrainian. They moved to Ukraine together. She's pregnant, 38 weeks. She made it safely to the Polish border. He had to get his parents out. He made it to the Polish border and reunited with her. So I don't know if they've managed to get into Poland yet. Um, anyway, it's just, it's a massive mass exodus, but also lots of fighting. And what is clear from the headlines, and of course, the headlines are headlines, right? So we don't know how much spin's going on with these headlines. But I've followed multiple news sources, including this Indian channel from India that does their broadcasts in English, that I found to be very informative. Like, they're just spitting facts. This troop movement's going on. This city's still safe. Just boom, boom, boom. They have one reporter, lady. She's outstanding. She's probably the best reporter I've ever seen. And it's clear, like, she knows this stuff. She knows the geopolitics of the area. Anyway, she's just talking about all that's going on. And India, from what I understand, has good relations with Russia. But from the broadcast, you would never know that because she's definitely lambasting Putin and the Russian troops. So anyway, that's about what I know. That's maybe interesting, helpful, useful. Please pray for the family of Sergei. I can't remember his last name. The one who died, American, fighting alongside the Ukrainians, and has helped. In fact, one brief story about him that I know about. There's a family that rescued a boy, 16 years old, who at 16 was in an orphanage, literally 17 pounds. 17 pounds, the size of a baby, at the age of 16. He helped that family get that child out on an emergency basis so they could get him to America, so that he could get into a hospital in America so they could save his life. And he's doing well. That's something that this Sergei did. So pray for the family of Sergei and all those that love him. I can't imagine what that family that he helped rescue this precious boy is feeling right now, knowing that he's died. Can I share my newfound YouTube channel and news channel sources? Yeah, I can. In fact, what I'll do is right after I get off this, I'll go to the site. I think I can do this and hit share on this guy's videos or channel, and or at least last report that he's done. And I think I can link it to a post. So if you know how to see posts on YouTube, especially from my channel, I'll do his, and I'll try to find this lady. I think her first name is Priyanka. I have a friend with a wife named Priyanka, and anyway, I'll see if I can find that one so you can follow it. But our you're welcome. Our news sources suck. I mean, you have to find basically independent journalists who will actually talk about stuff without a filter from the mainstream media. But when you talk about CNN, NBC, ABC, I mean, most of you know this, they just suck. They're so biased. They're not reporting news. They're what does Ben Shapiro call it? Journalizing, something like that. Journalism. I forget what he calls it, but anyway, he's got a funny term for it, where they're basically doing op-eds instead of news reports. So. All right, I'm going to do that now. Anyway, John Adamson with Seeking Light. Continue to pray for Ukraine and for those in Russia who have stood up against Putin and are in jail. God bless them. They're brave. Take care. God bless.